Alright, motherfuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits on Artwod Roadmap. Who am I? I'm Viggy. I aim to prove anybody can draw by, cataloging my entire my entire practice on my channel. Jesus Christ. Right, how well can I draw? I can draw this well. How can I draw this well? Artwod, right? Link in description. I'm not affiliated, I'm just a huge fucking dick rider, right? They give you the work, not the shortcut. That's their new slogan, right? But yes, even with the work that they give you, just follow their fucking roadmap, do 100 times the work they require of you, just like I am doing, because everybody knows they want to be like me. And yes, grab your pen, grab your paper, draw along. If you don't give a fuck about art or any of this, get the fuck off my channel. Subscribe, like, watch every video, keep me on the background, give me retention, mute my ass. I need this, please. Thank you. Anyways, everybody else, please get your pen and paper. Draw along, do something fucking productive. Jesus Christ, do something. Come on. You all know you love this background music. It's so soothing. Don't click the link in description where I give you the background music and only listen to that. Please, for the love of God, that would be horrible. just keep my voice. Mute me. Do something. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm very tired today. For those of you who actually do draw along, I'm very tired today. I don't know why. I just am. And I didn't feel like drawing at all today. Like, at all. Right? But what are we doing? Well, I'm here is what I'm trying to say. I didn't feel like drawing at all. I don't want to put any effort whatsoever. Therefore, I must lean into this feeling and say, go fuck yourself, and lean into the effort even more, right? Because that's all that matters, is the fucking effort. So, join me, right? Practice your fundamentals. Actually, put intentional repetition towards getting better. There's quite a few things I want to talk about today. As always, it's usually going to be a repackaged version of the same shit, but this is just stuff I like to keep telling myself and informing new people and reminding old people, I guess, who draw along, right? But what are we doing? We're looking at a portrait. We are putting a box over the portrait. We're putting a sphere inside the box. We're putting a center line that follows the contour of the sphere, vertical and horizontal, that's inside the sphere, inside the box. We're also calculating the center line of each plane. We're also calculating the ellipse inside each plane and then projecting it outward. This is roughly 23 calculations if you count for every single fucking line and every single plane, right? If that sounds extremely difficult, it is, because I'm, and everyone who attempts to be an expert draftsman, right, in their lifetime, thinks while they draw. It's a thinking skill, right? It's a working memory deficiency that is constantly being pushed, all right? It is a parietal lobe and prefrontal cortex equation, right? It is not a fucking talent, right? And if you believe it's a talent, either fuck off, and keep me on the background. Fuck, I already used that joke, so don't fuck off, actually. Either look at my channel and look at 400 hours of consistent, slow and steady practice, right? And be like, maybe there's something to it. By the way, while I'm talking, I'm already drawing in my mind, right? And that's a skill. Talking while thinking. I'm running two parallel lines of thought. One of those parallel lines of thought is cognitively taxing, right? What is it? It is, again, thinking about the box, thinking about the sphere inside the box, thinking about the center lines inside the sphere, inside the box, vertical and horizontal, thinking about the center line in each plane inside the box, thinking about the ellipse inside each plane inside the box, right? Again, this fuckery, this is actually literally what I'm trying to envision. This right here, this. In case it's not clear enough, I'm trying to literally see and calculate this constantly in my mind and on the page, right? However we visualize, because everybody has a different way of visualizing. And if you believe you have aphantasia, you're a fucking moron, because only 1% of the population has aphantasia, all right? And you're not special enough to be that rare. And if you are special enough to be that rare, congratulations. Turns out even people with severe aphantasia can still spatially reason and become excellent in spatial reasoning. So, dickhead, let's fucking draw, all right? Let's practice, let's actually put intent in, because once again, your effort matters, and it's the only thing you have in control, right? That was very passionate, Vicky. Why'd you say it so angrily? Because I'm fucking tired, goddammit. I'm tired of that argument, okay? It doesn't matter who you fucking are. You still have to put an effort. It literally doesn't matter, right? And if you want to complain and say, well, what about well, harba is actually a very good point. I didn't think about that, to be honest. I really should have considered. And now I feel as if my entire argument is moot. Moot, yes, moot. You got me there. But I know last video, completely disregarding that. I know last video, like, everybody knows how I feel about talent because everybody watches this channel, of course. But I know last video I was all like, oh, I want to really be positive and have a positive community, right? And it's the only time I'll talk about it. I would like to officially rescind that statement. We will hunt down every single fucking hater, put them in the gulags, and shoot them on sight, right? Through the sight, specifically. I'm thinking M14. I don't know if that has a sight, but I believe that's a gun. I actually don't know shit about guns, right? But it's okay, right? When people hate you, that just means they do not like the way you live, right? Or at least the way they do not, yeah, they don't like the way you live. You live your life in a way they do not prefer, right? I'm just fucking butchering the quote by Alex Hormozy, who I parrot because I don't have a brain of my own. I simply just listen to people a lot smarter than me, right? Kim Jong-il, Peter Han, right? A bunch of productivity people. Yeah, like fucking Antonio, right? Broken draw. You know, I don't need to have my own brain, right? I'm not that smart, and I'm okay with it. I just simply, again, listen to people smarter than me. So my words are not my words, by the way, right? They're simply words that have helped me get to this point, and there'll be words that will help me get to the next 60, 70 years of my life, and I will die, and that's it, right? So, GG. But I hope when I do get hated on, first they target my race, then they target my face, and then finally, when all's said and done, they knock on my door and spray the mace. Bars, 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 bars. I actually was thinking of that while I was showering 20 minutes ago. I'm like, that'll be great. That'll be so funny. They'll think it's so funny. Unfortunately, nobody's here. It's just me. And again, I'm really trying to visualize, but I can't because I'm fucking talking and talking about stupid shit while I'm visualizing. So it is very difficult. But the main thing is, of course, and I'm going to start with the bottom this time. The main thing is, of course, trying to get the right perspective down. And again, while I draw this line, I have to make sure that I do see the sphere encompassed in it, right? I have to make sure I see the sphere encompassed in it, you know? Because that is also a skill, is to while you draw, you must visualize, right? I have my little handy dandy notebook, good old Dora reference. Really cool design. I got this from chapters/indigo. But I have some notes that I have there that I want to talk about. Right? One thing is, I have completely forgotten to think about the silhouette while I design these shapes on top of it. So what does that tell you? That my working memory is extremely taxed. Like, it is extremely taxed, right? Like, but I genuinely do believe thinking about that silhouette is extremely important because that's what's going to reduce a lot of cognitive load when it comes to ideating upon generally the design. Right? So that's another, like, I just wanted to mention that, like, even with all the fucking effort I put in, it's been, I think, like 10 hours since or like 15 hours since I've thought about silhouette, right? What does that tell you, right? Viggy, we thought you were a god, but you were simply a piggy. That was mediocre, but I think I've proven I am mediocre, right? And again, while I'm drawing these, I'm thinking about the fucking sphere inside the box and the center lines and the ellipse. I'm constantly trying to think. And I do say, my good sir, I do believe that I have completely fucked up the perspective, but it's actually, this is too much. I'm still trying to figure out, like, the eye to ear ratio in terms of, like, the angle and where to do it. And you can see my lines are really bad, but I'm pretty sure this is more accurate. So I had it right here. Yeah, I had it right here, but the depth is more correct here, right? Because, again, this is a fucking box. This is not a really flat, I guess, rectangular box. What the fuck am I trying to say? But either way, right, yeah, I haven't thought about silhouette at all. And that's good, because again, it's not good that I haven't thought about silhouette, but it's good to recognize, because I have said this before, it's like you will have the same revelation on a more nuanced and more complex scale dozens of times. Dozens of times you'll have the same realization. And your realization will always boil down to, from what I can tell from what all advanced artists say, is it's just shapes. That's always what your realization will be. It's just shapes. Right? What a fucking surprise, right? Lighting is just shapes. Values is just shapes. Design is just shapes. Form is just shapes. Perspective is just composition. So even fucking composition is literally like a general shape, a flow, a design. So yes, all of our realizations have already been fucking, checkmarked by the goddamn thousands of masters who have come before us, right? Literally left stains of inspiration. So, but pretty sure I made a thumbnail like that once. Yeah, I've left stains of inspiration on the Broken Draw subreddit. Where are my free subs? Unfortunately, I sent it in the fucking Broken Draw subreddit when it was active, and absolutely nobody found it funny. But I will have my community. I will have it. Fucking watch me become great. Watch me not be lonely. That's the main thing. That's the first step, right? But yeah, like again. What the fuck? Again, while I'm doing this, I'm really extensively trying to think about the sphere, especially inside the box, and the center line inside the sphere, inside the box, especially like this and this one. Like this is what I'm trying to see in my mind, by the way, but obviously in this angle, right? Like that's literally what I'm trying to constantly see. And today, I will say today, it's slightly easier, maybe like a solid 10% easier. But you have to remember, the more effort I'm putting in throughout the session, the worse it's gonna get, because output regression, which is when your cognitive load, your working memory, is taxed, right? That is called output regression, and that's actually what you want, by the way. You want to feel like you're at a point where you cannot think, calculate, visualize, essentially put any more cognitive effort in. You want that. Why do you want that? Because at that point is when your synapses are firing the most, when neuroplasticity has been invoked to the fullest, and when your brain is actually trying to consolidate the information. And there's a reason I only practice for an hour a day, because 60 to 90 minutes is the most amount of time through sheer effort, like when you're actually applying intense effort, right? Intentional, dedicated effort and practice, that your brain can process new data. So what is the new data, quote unquote, that my brain keeps trying to process? It's this, it's the schema I'm building, right? The sphere inside the box, inside with the center lines, right? Inside the sphere, inside the box, right? While also, you know, accounting for this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, this diagonal, right? And like this straight and this straight, like this line. It's like all following the perspective, of course, but it's all center lines. These are 23 calculations roughly, right? Because each plane is also in and of itself a calculation, right? But there's quite a few things I want to talk to you regarding that. Like I've already kind of gone back and forth on the few things I wanted to say, but what I'm going to be talking about should reassure you. Reassure you? What the fuck? Reassure you that you are on the correct path. But first, rest your brain. Oh my goodness. Please take me out to dinner before you fuck my throat. Anyways, let's see. Okay, so now obviously I'm gonna just generally try to place the features. So yeah, this is definitely like way too much of a bottom angle. Her face, and the reference I'm using, this is all just Pinterest random board that I found and I saved years back. Yo, my burps are disgustingly tasty, actually. Yum, yum, yum. But it is quite a symphony. But anyways, like I'm just trying to generally place the features. And that's another skill I'm trying to work on, is like placing features while seeing every single calculation, right? And again, it's not about, I'm not really trying to make perfectly accurate features right now. The actual skill I am focusing on, Jesus Christ, her eyebrows are way too thin. This is even worse than, this isn't even Botox. This is just me fucking everything up. But the reason I am, like the actual skill that's being built here, because again, I know my value comes from the fact that I explain what I'm thinking. I'm very well aware, not now, but in the future, this will be very valuable. Because when I am fucking amazing at portraits, and then I am amazing at figures, and then environments, and then values, and so on and so forth, right? You are not gonna come here to see some dickhead be like, I don't know what I'm doing. You're coming here to be like, exactly what is every single thing going on in his mind so I can replicate it. I want my process to be replicable to the most like extensive measures. And that is why I'm building the skill of explaining while talking, right? I'm not doing this to fuck around, right? I'm not doing this, I mean, fucking around is actually pretty fun, but I'm not doing this primarily just because it's like, I want to be more skilled in speaking while drawing, while calculating, while seeing the central line, while seeing the box. Like, that's not the main reason. The main reason is for you, the audience. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. But genuinely, it's for this future that I've envisioned where you will return, right? New or recurring. According to YouTube stats, very many of you are recurring pieces of shit. Fucking subscribe, right? But it's genuinely for you. It's literally so I can explain that, hey, while I drew this, I was trying really hard to think about the sphere inside the box, as well as this ellipse being projected out to the sphere, and then this ellipse being projected out to the sphere, right? While also ensuring that I understood that generally, like that this nose is a diagonal, right? It's diagonally placed against this perspective that we've established, right? Like that is why you are here, to understand what is the thought process. Because when this man, i.e. me, is a master, right, or an excellent draftsman, you are not. I refuse to gatekeep. And again, this is all artwod, by the way. It's not even me, because it's already there. The information's there. But what I'm doing is actually showcasing how much work it takes to make this information valuable as a skill set, right? Because Antonio said it multiple times, but again, artwod is generally, in terms of repetitions, catering towards beginners, because beginners do not want to put work in, right? So when Antonio says, oh yeah, do 20 repetitions, I know in his mind, he's like, these fucking dipshits, they need to do at least like 200 minimum repetitions before they barely start to understand it, right? But it's okay. He's a businessman. He's a nice guy. I'm just speaking for him. He might not even think this. But I will say it for him if he is, which is, hey, beginner, dipshit, i.e. me from 2 years ago, or 3 years or 5 months ago now, Jesus Christ. And you, right now, right, it takes 100 times more work than you believe. And guess what? You're extremely capable of that, right? If this intimidates you, it shouldn't. It literally means you're capable of it. What separates you from me apart from my giant dick, huh? Tell me, don't taste it, just tell me, okay, Jesus, calm down, naughty boy, not now, please, later. But That's a Madagascar reference. I'm pretty sure Julian did something like that. Oh, naughty boy, don't do that. Yeah, that's hilarious. Anyways, but yeah, I lost the perspective multiple times while I was doing this. But yeah, this is what my value is, and I'm very well. This is what my value is the fact that I'm just hilarious. And meanwhile, while you're getting whiplash from all the things that I say, you're like, oh, never mind. He's actually explaining quite a bit what he's doing, which is the fact that while he's trying to draw this ear, he's trying to envision the sphere inside the box, and also the center line, which is this ellipse projected outward to this contour of the sphere. And then now that he mentioned that, he completely lost the sphere, so he has to see the sphere again. And now that he's seen that, he has to see the center line and see the ellipse, and he's really struggling to see this ellipse. And consistently, this horizontal from this angle, he consistently struggles to see the ellipse. And now he just randomly projected the center line diagonals over here. And now he's trying to do it here as well because he's reminded of the fact that he did it here, so it needs to be consistent. And now he lost the entire sphere again, so he needs to bring it back. That is why you're here, all right? As a constant reminder of the work it takes and the work that you're doing and the work that you're capable of, all right? But that's another thing I wanted to say, right? This might sound like a lot to you, but this is simply a natural evolution of the spatial reasoning path that you're going on, right? Oh God, I have to burp again. It's a natural evolution. Anyways, yeah, it's a natural evolution of the spatial reasoning path. Now I'm doing something even more difficult, by the way, which is I have to keep building the schema, because that's what our brains are just constantly building when we're practicing something as cognitively intensive as art. It is building a schema. What is a schema? It's a model, right? It's a simulation. It's a calculation. It's a constant measurement to adhere to, a map that our brain can reflect on or refer to, sorry, right? Like many ways to refer to as like a schema, but I'll just call it a schema or a mental model because that's what it's used in, you know, neuroscience, the learning and all that shit, right? It's like your brain builds schemas, right? The main thing is it builds the schema, and then what our brains excel at is reconstruction, not holding it for an extended period of time. While we can build that ability, right? And I am constantly focusing on building that ability. It's not about holding it for an extended period of time. It's about reconstructing it as fast as fucking possible, right? That is what matters. Reconstructing it as fast as possible. And right now, I don't really see anything. I'm ghosting because the ghosting is reinforcing what I'm trying to visualize and trying to calculate in my mind. But do I really see anything? Not really, right? And again, I really struggle with this ellipse. And I struggle with conceptualizing that this is actually part of the sphere, right? On this scale, as you can see, on this scale, I can see that. I can conceptualize that. I can be like, oh yeah, okay. You know, like, okay, now here we have the box. Like I can, because this is a small scale. When the scale is expanded, it is fucking infinitely harder, right? So why am I talking about schemas? Why am I saying that like this is related to what you are probably doing? Because for you, if you are a beginner, I'm just gonna assume that you're not like at my level, because people at my level probably aren't watching me. They're probably watching somebody else, or they don't need this information, I assume, right? But I'm gonna assume that you're either roughly where I am, or a bit behind, or more behind, whatever. You're just like you're on the path that I'm on, but maybe a bit behind, whatever, right? Why is this relatable, and why is this actually completely reflective of your experience? Because I'm going to wager that you are also thinking a lot about specific things, whether it be lines, whether it be about visualizing the line while putting the line down, while making sure that you can consistently visualize the line while putting the line down. I just mentioned 3 fucking skills, right? Because it's skills, right? That is your schema. You know, whatever the thing that you're spending the most effort on constantly, and I'm going to refer to it in terms of spatial reasoning, right? That is your schema. Okay, that is what you are trying to build. That is the model your brain is efficiently trying to consolidate as new data over the 60 to 90 minute drawing session. That is what is being done. Right now, my brain is trying to consolidate the 3 major skills of speaking and explaining the spatial reasoning, which is the other major skill, right? And trying to design on top of that, which is another major skill. I'm trying to literally, my brain is firing on all ends because I'm trying to manage 3 systems all at once. All at once. Speech, explanation, right? Spatial reasoning, visualization, as well as trying to design on top of that. This is at least like 30 fucking calculations happening in my mind at this point, right? But is it actually happening? No. Is it attempting to happen yet? What is actually happening? Barely fucking anything, because I'm still talking, which is completely fucking up my ability to visualize. But that's okay, because I'm building the skill. And now, as I keep talking, I can slowly, perhaps intuitively, perhaps intentionally, I'd say a mix of both. I'm constantly trying to see. And now the main thing is I need to see where the center line is, right? We need to see the front plane and be like, okay, here's my center line. Now I need to think about what can be done. I know that was so vague. I need to think about what general silhouette I can attach to this. I also want you to know that this drawing behind, right? This fuckery is an obstruction. It is an obstruction to my visualization. This is completely getting in the way because it's a bunch of fucking faded lines that are just there, and I have to completely ignore and still visualize this and the fucking this. I have to visualize this fuckery, right? That is extremely difficult. So I'm gonna just take a step back. All right, let's try again. But yeah, and as I was saying, like another thing I want to say is like, you know, on the lines of like you're building your schemas, the effort you're putting in will not change. However, like, and I hope you're putting in as much effort as you can. First of all, that's a prerequisite. Put in as much effort as you can, right? But the effort that you're putting in does not change. Let me say that again. The effort that you're putting in does not change. Simply what you put your effort on as your brain gets more efficient at consolidating the information, thereby reducing the amount of cognitive effort towards the skill you're currently working on, and then allocating it towards a new series of skills and meta skills and spatial reasoning skills and shape skills and visualization skills. All that energy will then be allocated there. So it's sequential, okay? In terms of like how you allocate your energy and like the path you go on to allocate your energy. But obviously acquiring the skill is not sequential. It is absolutely fucking it's essentially a slog, quote unquote slog. And I don't like using that word. It is a friction-full effort of consistent repetitions and failures until your brain finally understands and clicks. And how does it do that? Via the spacing effect, via rest, via just constant fucking, just constantly trying, all right? So yeah, if you're a beginner listening and you're just practicing lines or you're practicing boxes and your boxes look like fucking ass, and mine did too for thousands of boxes, and I literally have proof now, so nobody can say, oh yeah, like thousands, really? Yes, motherfucker, thousands. Click on my channel, watch the playlist year 1 to 2 playlist. But yeah, this is a video for beginner artists. Like that'll show you literally every fucking thing that I did. And yeah, you are on that path. And that is the right path, and that is the correct path if you are trying to be really good at drawing, draftsmanship, spatial reasoning. You are not on the wrong path. You will figure it out, right? Anyways, I need to shut the fuck up. I need to figure this out. I need to be able to see this properly. But I really can't think of a silhouette because my brain is just dying trying to see the box right now. You see how I said I saw this easier compared to yesterday earlier? Wrong, because I can't see anything anymore. So what I need to do is probably rest my brain because I've been really trying to see this and I can't. So I encourage you to rest your brain as well. Probably isn't helping that I'm just talking. But hey, if I can talk and draw, you can listen and draw, and that's a skill we can both build. This is how I gaslight my audience into body doubling with me. It's actually good for you guys. It's just an additional skill, right? Anyways, let me actually try to see this to the best of my ability. So what am I trying to think about now? I'm trying to think about obviously the box, right? Obviously the box, right? And now I need to think about the sphere. I need to think about the center line. And more than that, I need to think about the center line, like genuinely of the box, like that's going like this. I need to think about that, and then the opposite side, like underneath. And then I need to think about the ellipse that's going underneath that. So very, very difficult. Right, very, very difficult, but I need to calculate that to the best of my ability because that is actually, and this is fucking killing my brain. I'm telling you right now, I'm not even trying to calculate this anymore right now. It's purely just this, and that, you know, output regression. I can't do what I was doing before, right? And this is where my brain is gonna grow, right? And while I visualize this, I need to think about a silhouette. So I need to hold this to the absolute fucking best of my ability. Right, I need to hold this to the best of my ability, which is pretty mediocre because I can barely see this, I'll be completely honest. So I need to hold this calculation to the best of my ability. I need to calculate the center line now, right? I need to calculate the center line. I need to calculate it. I can't see anything, but I need to try. I need to calculate the center line. And now I need to draw some form of silhouette on top of it. Oh, okay, I lost it. So I need to take a step back. See, that's the thing. That's the skill. Is like once I lost it, I need to take a step back. Now I need to try to reconstruct it again, right? And this is me just genuinely just constantly trying to visualize, or I'm trying to see lines that don't exist. I'm literally trying to see something that doesn't exist. No wonder it's extremely difficult. We are superimposing a reality from our mind onto the page, right? That is supposed to be extremely fucking difficult, right? I don't think I covered everything I was going to talk about, but I hope it makes sense. What I was trying to say is, whatever that thing you're focusing on right now, as you're putting a shit ton of effort into it, +5. Let's just say like plus an extra 5%, like really trying to see it. Your brain is creating a model, right? Or attempting to consistently create the model. And you know that you have hit the peak level of discomfort when you are actually performing worse than you were before, right? When you are performing worse than you were before is when you're in that Goldilocks zone of discomfort. And I would say right now, I'm definitely performing worse than I did before, right? So what matters now is to hold it as much as possible and, you know, try to rebuild the schema. Because again, like rebuilding, instantaneous rebuilding is what our brain is going to be efficient at. Restructuring, rebuilding that, right? Like again, when you lose the line, because let's just say you're a line, right? You're going to struggle a lot, just like I did. Same level of effort, by the way, trying to see this and just trying to see this. Same level of effort. I want to be very clear. Day 1 to day fucking 5, let's say like 300, right? First year, just trying to see a line. Let's just say maybe it was this long now, right? Just trying to see that. Same level of effort as trying to see this right now. Same level. I want to really put that into perspective, you know. And you might say like, there's no fucking way. That's what I'm trying to say. Your effort does not change. Your brain simply consistently gets better at consolidating the map, the schema, the pathways, whatever the fuck you want to call it, the information, the data of what you are focusing on over time, such that you can allocate the same level of effort towards the next level. Okay? Hopefully that makes sense. That should make sense. You'd have to be an utter fucking retard, just like myself, to not have it make sense. Anyways, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. Just shut the fuck up. That should have made sense. But anyways, now I need to think about a silhouette. Let's just do something like this, because I clearly cannot. Let's just do something like this. Right? And again, I really need to keep trying to see this. Keep trying to see this, keep trying to see this. Right? And again, like, what am I actually ideating? I'm just trying to, like, while I do this, I literally only did this just so I could have some sort of anchor for my mental model, for the box, the sphere, the center lines that I'm trying to see. That was literally the only reason I did it. Because apart from that, I can't really see anything. But that was the only reason. Like this right here, I'm trying to establish this exact point as my center line. I need to make sure that everything else falls within that. But again, now this is an obstruction because my brain, I'm telling you right now, my brain wants this plane to be like this now. For some reason, it wants it to be like that, but that's not accurate. Actually, fuck, it is accurate. What the fuck? Oh no, it wants it to be like this. For some reason, like my brain really wants to skew this quite a bit, even though it should be like this, right? So another thing, like your brain will constantly get in the way of the information you're trying to accurately visualize, right? And that is the course correction you make there is also an extreme amount of effort, right? Again, I'm trying to see this, by the way. I'm really trying to see this, you know, like to the best of my fucking ability. I'm genuinely trying to see that to the best of my ability, right? So, not easy. Nowhere near, like literally not easy at all, right? And let's see, I want to think about, okay, so I had to look here, I cheated a little bit, but because I'm really struggling right now, because this is jutting outward, right? But my sphere is still here, bars, but my sphere is still here, and I also don't have a very consistent size for my sphere, so I need to see the sphere too, because I completely lost the sphere. I've been so focused on the box, I completely lost the sphere, but the sphere is what this resides on, you know? So if I project it outward to the best of my ability, then something like this should be occurring. You know, I'm not gonna have the best commentary for that shit. All right, like I am already struggling greatly as it is, genuinely, because I keep losing the box and the sphere. Like I'm genuinely, I keep losing everything. I keep losing everything, but I keep trying is what's mattering right now. Right? And let's see. Okay, so I lost the box again. I lost the perspective again. and I need to make sure. So I need to take a step back, right? I need to take a step back and try to reconstruct it one more time. And then after this next, what the fuck, my voice just died. And after this next attempt, I will rest my brain and you will join me. At this point, I'm not even gonna fucking encourage you. Just fucking join me, you piece of shit. Just utilize the gap effect. If you're average, like me, we have to use every single fucking neurobiological mechanism proven to effectively expedite the learning process, right? Gap effect, spacing effect, focusing on the effort, leaning into discomfort, right? Resting after for at least 10 to 15 minutes after a difficult session, right? Working memory, just it's all a working memory skill. It's a fucking working memory skill. It's extremely difficult. It's literally a working memory skill. Oh, see, I was able to reconstruct it a little bit better. That was actually, see, this is how I know I was, dude, okay, the perfect example. I literally see it better now because I took a step back to let my brain refresh, right? I literally see it better now. That's fucking amazing. Oh, I'm a god. Right? But again, I want to say that this is still very difficult. Just because I see it better now doesn't mean suddenly I have become some sort of god, right? I mean, apart from the fact that I said I was a god, right? All that means is I just proved what I said, which is my brain was, and again, while I'm drawing this, I have to zoom in to draw these lines and zoom out to still see the sphere that it resides in, which is the box that it's encompassed in, which is the center lines that are inside of it, which is this fuckery calculation that I'm trying to see as well, right? So I want to be very clear. I'm constantly calculating, constantly to the best of my ability, but this proves my point. Like, to myself, this proves my point that I was leaning so much into that discomfort that I experienced output regression, which is I got worse. I could see much, much, much less, right? So it is about constantly experiencing output regression, taking a step back, resting, essentially kind of like not even the gap effect, but just taking a step back, and then trying again. Like, just not thinking about that and then just trying again. And already I see myself having a lot better of a time in reconstructing it, right? But let's see. See, I'm trying to think of a silhouette right now. So this is the thing. Like, now I can actually try to focus on design. And by design, I mean just like what kind of silhouette isn't shit. But right now, it's clear that, and you guys will see this, like, oh, what a fucking inspired design. Look, he did another cutout again, right? But there's skills involved in this. I want to say, like, not that I'm saying I'm skilled or I'm doing anything skillful, but for the beginner out there, you need to understand that what I'm doing right now, like, this is subtraction. But that's because I've done this hundreds and thousands of times to the point my brain does not need to calculate how this subtraction works. The fact that I'm cutting out of the box, right? That fact that this is something that is subtracted, that there's like a little sliver of a box that is cutting into this main box, right? And again, like, and on a smaller scale, it is much easier. Like, I don't need to really calculate that the sphere is relatively centered, right? Because I can do it on a smaller scale, which is why I always encourage people, and myself, because that's something I struggled with for a very long time, to draw bigger, right? But again, when you zoom in, you lose the perspective, just like I did. I just completely lost the perspective. So I have to take a step back, and now I'm going to use this. Now I'm actually going to use the gap effect. So again, rest your brain with me, please, right? And look at this. Just 33 minutes, by the way. 33 minutes for this and this. So this is the quote-unquote valley of despair, where you don't see much progress, and I'm always going to be in the valley of despair. I want to be very clear. Like, I objectively always will be, because I objectively always will be keep pushing my mind over and over and over and over. But again, it's because I push my mind to that extent, and that when I draw from imagination, even though I don't know how to draw a person yet, because we haven't really done portraits at all, I don't know how to draw, I don't know what the fuck this is, like some nuclear reactor, whatever bullshit in this chest, I don't know what the fuck this is, I don't know how to draw a car, I literally don't know how to draw a car, right? That's just funny. Watch part 56 of my live streams, right? This was supposed to be like some gun thing, right? Like, I don't know how to draw any of this, but I can make it look believable because I understand forms, and I'm starting to constantly understand the shapes involved, and like, I've been practicing shape design and all that shit, just slightly, just trying to think about silhouette, right? This is literally the power of line, form, and perspective, okay? Anyways, please rest your brain. I think my words won't mean much right now, but in 10 years, you'll have to listen. And I hope you listen now so that you can say, ah, I was in on it from the beginning. Wow, we were actually doing the right thing, you know? Rather than lamenting the fact that you were just fucking around and then probably coming out with some bullshit excuse as to why my way was the wrong way. Who fucking knows? Everybody will have an opinion. But And I guess I should clarify on what I mean by the wrong way or the right way. If you want to be good at spatial reasoning, there is a right way. If you want to really, really fucking push the limits like I'm trying to do of your spatial reasoning, what the fuck, why did I say it like that? Of your spatial reasoning, right? There is a right way. But if you don't care about any of that, what the fuck are you doing here? Like literally, what the fuck are you doing here? Right? Is this just entertainment? Cool, I guess it's entertainment, but I think vast majority of people have insecurities, right? When it comes to spatial reasoning, because it's very difficult. Like artists constantly avoid getting good at form because it is difficult, right? So it's not an artist thing. It's a person who doesn't want to try doing difficult things thing, right? And that is something that is fixable via mindset, right? Mindset. Okay, hold up. I need to see the box again. So what am I calculating right now? Because I'm trying to make a diagonal here. What is that diagonal based off of? Well, first we encompass this in the box, right? This is a perfect sphere, right? We encompass it in the box. And then this is the plane, right? That is the plane on the side. And then I calculate this fuckery, but in this angle, right? I'm calculating it. And this right here, this is the diagonal. So it's something like this. Right? I don't know why I say it right like that, right? But, and then, let's see, and then, can I have an ellipse on the right? Can I have an ellipse? Let's see, we can maybe do something like this. Right? And that is also to reinforce to myself what the ellipse is. But that's actually that's a bit too much. You know, that's, in the sense that like that is not an accurate ellipse for this perspective because I lost it, right? I lost it. I need to be I always want to be as transparent as possible when like I don't see things at all, which is fucking 90% of the time, by the way. And again, like every line I put down, I need to constantly keep calculating against the perspective, which is a great feedback loop because it constantly forces me to keep zooming out and establishing the constant proportion of the box in relation to the shapes I'm now encompassing on top of the forms that I'm visualizing, right? I.e., I need to keep seeing the perspective that I've created and ensure that it aligns with the forms that I've already drawn on top of the perspective that I've created, right? Which is a fuck ton of, say it with me now, thinking, right? It's thinking. It's thinking. Simple, not easy. Because it is simple to understand that, oh, he's just doing a bunch of calculations. I'm assuming it is simple to understand that I'm doing a bunch of calculations. Is it simple to do those calculations? Absolutely fucking not, because then you'd be doing them. Motherfucker, alright? Join me, do these calculations, you piece of shit. I don't want to do them right now. My brain is dying, bro. But that is why, and here I'm just gonna add some little design things to reinforce to myself. Because this line, like I'm doing right now, is less about me. Because before I would have done this as a way to waste time, but now I'm doing this while trying to zoom out and to see the bottom plane of this box. And it's extremely difficult because I can only vaguely conceptualize it. Like literally just, I can only vaguely understand that it exists and try to see it. But did I actually see it? No, I didn't. Right? But I tried, which is the most important thing. Is like I literally just tried to see the box, right? And of course now we have the sphere. Have no fear, we have sphere. And I think I didn't center it properly. And I know why now, because that's what I love. That's why I love drawing and love making mistakes, because I didn't think hard enough. And now this is off center. Yeah, this is off center because look, I made this too far out. We see too much of this side. And that's a beautiful mistake. Like I literally just forced myself to feel good while doing that, right? And now we need to obviously, I say obviously, but I need to readjust essentially what this entire box is, right? I need to readjust it. So this is my new center. So I guess technically it's still centered. It's just not like this, right? But I need to readjust the box. This actually sphere, I think ended up making it way bigger than I intended, because look, it's quite large now, right? So I genuinely need to readjust the box, And now we need to, and I'm trying to see this front sphere. I'm really trying to see this. What am I trying to see? I'm trying to see fucking literally this. That's what I'm trying to see. And just in case you weren't aware what I was trying to see, that's what I'm trying to see. Apart from the shitty lines. the shitty lines, right? So that is what I'm trying to see. And my brain constantly wants to condense the sphere down to here, but we have to bring it back out. Be like, no, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, brain. Right? This is the part where it's output regression, just cognitive memory, working load, fucking 10 things in my mind, constantly vying for attention and for resources, because it's extremely resource intensive. Right? That is, and again, like, it's also like I have to keep making sure that this curve is following the box that I'm establishing, right? So this is now technically centered again because I made the sphere larger. I actually made it work somehow. What the fuck? Am I just genius? But I need to think about the center and the sphere. Let's see. Okay, I need to think about the sphere. I need to think about the center line. Jesus Christ. There you go. Okay, that's not what I intended to do, but because I really want to keep reinforcing this horizontal center line in my mind, that's what I needed to do. But I'm losing it. I'm at output regression right now, so which is basically the fact that my brain is performing worse because I'm pushing further, and that's how it's learning. So that's when you take a step back, you lean into it for at least like a minute or like just a bit longer, at least like let's just say another fucking 40, 50, whatever percent. Like you just lean into it for another few minutes, then you take a step back. And then you return, and now I can see it again. It's actually amazing how that works, and I feel as if just now I'm starting to utilize it a bit more effectively, but I can see it a decent amount better now, right? Because yeah, like I'm actually utilizing the fucking science. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? But don't call me a thought. How fucking dare you? But let's see. We still need to, again, like this isn't super accurate, right? Like this, if you look at this ellipse, I don't think it's super accurate. Actually, no, it's not bad. It's actually genuinely not bad, right? Same with this. What about this? Let's see. That's not bad either. I feel as if this is obviously a bit fucked. Obviously, that's a bit fucked. But overall, decent. Genuinely decent. Yeah, genuinely, it's okay. There are definitely issues, but it's fine. I'm still trying to see all of this. And don't forget, I'm trying to design on top of this. Like, I'm literally trying to design something that makes sense. And again, like, while I'm trying to see this, I'm trying to see the fucking, these lines. Like, I'm trying to see this, right? I'm trying to see that. And that's really hard too. But just saying that I'm trying to see that actually does help quite a bit. This curve could have been a lot better, clearly. I think this curve could have been a lot better. But constantly trying to see is the name of the game. That's just the name of the game, right? And let's see. No pun intended. But yeah, let's see. Let's try to, okay, let's get the box back because I couldn't see the box anymore. And now we have to see the this plane right here, right? And I have to see it right, like as decent as I can, as per the, and then this is, okay, where's my, that's ending right here. There you go. I think my box, the front plane's ending right there. So that should be a pretty good place to stop, right? And then I will do something like this. Now you might be wondering, what the fuck is this? I don't know. This is actually, no, I didn't fuck up, never mind. But there you go. We will do something like, ta-da! We're adding diagonals! We're trying to make things more difficult. Yay! Right? Because why the fuck not? Why not make things even more necessarily difficult than they need to be? Right? And now the question is, how does this look? I don't know. How the fuck, what am I supposed to do with this? How does this look? What do we do from here? Right? Because I have the front plane. I'm trying, like, because I literally can't understand what this should look like in terms of, like the bottom plane. I actually don't know what it should look like at all, but I've done it now. Oh boy, he's done it now, right? So I have to see how it goes, and this is good because this is a mistake, probably, right? Like this is probably a mistake, and this is good because I have to really calculate what the other side of this looks like, and that is also extremely difficult. So I'm trying really hard. What am I trying to see? I'm trying to see the horizontal center line. I'm trying to see this, like this fucking the plane in the middle, right? That's cutting across. I'm trying to also see how where this ends, right? Because this ends basically right around here. So the like at least like where this ends, right? So this ends right around. Dude, what the fuck? My head just my head just felt dizzy trying to calculate all that. Jesus Christ. But this is extremely difficult, and this honestly might be the entire session, is just trying to calculate this to the best of my ability, but I'm gonna really try to push into this one more time, like genuinely, because again, this is an obstruction on my sphere now, right? Like this is literally an obstruction, so I need to try to push into this one last time. One last time, I need you, the one that takes me home. Right, that song. I don't even know what the lyrics are. I'm probably tone deaf. So he sang valiantly, gallantly, the gallantly. But anyways, okay, so I'm trying to calculate this, and let's see. This is my box, right? Okay, so I did do that pretty accurately. Where's my center line? That's my center line, right? So if that's my box, that's my thing. I don't know what to do. Because, like, I did diagonal it, but then what happens after that? Where does this go from here? I'm really trying to figure out what the bottom of this looks like, to be honest, right? Because... And, like, I don't even know what the silhouette of this is going to be. For some reason, my brain wants to make it go this way, but I don't know why. Like, I really want to just make it like curl around for some reason like that, but it doesn't make any sense. So I think my brain again is tired. So I'm gonna rest it. I encourage you to do so as well. We're gonna figure this out. I'm gonna do my best to figure this out. I probably did fuck up the diagonal a little bit, but we're gonna try our best to make sense of this, because this is actually good. This is something very difficult that I haven't done before from this angle with all the calculations I'm trying to do. So this is a great opportunity to really push our brain, right? I say our brain, but it's my brain. But I hope your brain's also being pushed on your own practice, you motherfucker. It's beautiful, man. The amount of fucking mistakes I've been making, I just, honestly, it always feels like I'm getting worse, even though I'm slightly getting better. I'd like to believe. But again, this is a different angle. Never forget, this is also a different angle that I'm drawing from, right? So that's a different quote-unquote schema. And that's why, like, I have to be able to mentally rotate this, right? We have to be able to mentally rotate this at all points, you know? That probably wasn't easy to tell. We have to be able to mentally rotate this on this scale in any angle at all times. Like, rotation's a huge part of draftsmanship. Right, like draftsmanship abilities. So I see the sphere, I see the box now, and if that is the box, this is a lot of calculating going on in my head. I'm trying to, essentially what I'm doing is I'm seeing the box, and then I'm calculating this off of the front plane, and now I'm trying to figure out what the bottom, like what the other end, the other edge of this front, of this diagonal on my sphere looks like, right? What this thing jutting out of my sphere looks like. Because it can look like decent. And I definitely did get the diagonal wrong. Actually, I did get the diagonal wrong. If we look at it, like this is supposed to be my diagonal, right? But I did something like this. Something close to that. So that makes sense. That makes actually, like, I completely fucked it up. So now we have to think, where can this diagonal be replicable? Like that. Oh, there you go. There you go. That means the other diagonal needs to be like this. Ah, okay. There we go. So I can... or even if it isn't this, by the way, that could be wrong as well. That could be wrong as well. There's clearly a way to have this diagonal be logicked out, right? There is 100% a way for this diagonal to have logic to it. Because of that, and then, okay, so if that over there, and then, okay. And then I just need to think, like, what is happening on the other side? So we bring this over, and this is the edge of my front plane, which means this is the edge of my front plane. That means it's going around again, right? And this is basically, right? Something like this. Nope, fuck, I did not mean to draw that line, Jesus Christ. But it is something that is wrapping around, like so. It's like right there, I think. Yeah, because it's, if this is right here, then, oh wait, but fuck, this is my edge. It goes back a bit further. So it's like right here. Yeah, and then it's wrapping around. Ah, I see now. I see where this contour is now. This is also incorrect. It's not the most correct contour, but I see where it is now. So, okay, and then we use the plane and we bring it out. Oh, that line is fucking ass. That line is genuinely ass. And because I made that too long, we have to make this a bit longer because we obviously need to follow the goddamn perspective. Okay, so really bad. really bad, but I'm starting to see where I think I was for a second, but then I lost it again. Oh, there it is. Okay, and then this is my sphere. Okay. There you go. Not the best sphere, but now I just need to figure out what the fuck this shape is, because it really does not look that good, right? It genuinely does not look that good. So there has to be a way to make it look at least a little bit better. But maybe, I don't know, maybe this is where my random intuition for shape design can come into play. Right, who knows? This could all be really random. And again, I have to keep referring to my box. I have to keep referring to my box. And you can see from this angle, like where I'm holding the pen, my lines suffer greatly. Like genuinely, they suffer greatly, right? So that's another thing. It's like, it's all skills, all the way fucking up, down, behind your goddamn butt, everywhere, okay? Straight into the tailbone, through the urethra, everywhere. It's all skills. It's all skill. Okay, see, I fucked that up. But anyways, it's all skills. But that is a good thing, because if it's all skills, that means it's all in your control. Think about that. I know it's so deep. Who would have thought about such a profound statement, such as, if it is a skill, you can do it. Right? Truly, only the talented would actually think about something like that in the first place. Right? But, okay, this shape seems like it could go somewhere. Particularly to hell, because it's fucking shit. But, I need to think. Maybe, I just don't know what to do. I just literally have no idea what to do with these shapes. And I need to finish this damn sphere. Okay, so that's not bad. Okay, by the way, I completely lost the box. I want to be very clear. Look at that, 54 minutes. So this is basically my session, right? I've just accepted that this is my session, but I've completely lost the box. And now that I've said it, I'm trying to bring it back and really try to calculate it again. But this is fucking with a lot of my calculations, right? So we could do something like this. Right, and that will bring us the box back, hopefully. Well, actually, like, I did fuck it up a little bit. It's gonna be converging a bit fast, as you can see, but we're gonna still try to maintain, generally, the perspective that's been established right? And then this thing, bring it down there. Okay, so this is very difficult. My brain is like not even thinking right now. But I'm trying really hard to think. I'm genuinely like, it may not seem like it, but I'm very trying really, what the fuck am I saying? I'm trying really hard to think. And like each line I'm trying to fucking calculate and make sure it makes sense to some degree. Even though the lines themselves are very, very subpar. Okay, what are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing here? Definitely something going wrong. But either way, and now we can do this ellipse, which I'm going to reinforce. See, we're gonna have it be a little blended. Form blended. Wait, what am I? Okay, so that's a diagonal now, and I have to make. See, that was a mistake because I thought I was following this perspective, but I clearly wasn't. Right? Let that be clear. I thought I was following the perspective, but I wasn't. So even masters make mistakes. And my brain is fucking struggling, bro. Like, this is a genuine, let it be known, genuine struggle. So yeah, like incredible, incredible shape design, Vicky. Right? Fucking amazing. Okay, so again, like I'm really trying to think about the box. I guess you could say I just butchered it, right? I've soiled it. And let's see. There you go. And oh wait, no, I have to fix this. This has to be like that. There you go. Because we have to make it seem as if it was intentional all along to do it like this fucking idiocy. Right? Ta-da! And then I actually have no idea how this is gonna look. I actually think this is like horrendous. But like, see, look, what the fuck is this? I extended the shape back, brought it out, and now I'm trying to follow the perspective. Like, how does that even make sense? This is just wrong on all accounts. This is literally just wrong on all accounts. I have no idea what I've done. Okay, we're just gonna leave this. I don't know what I did anymore. I can't see anything. Genuinely cannot see anything, but maybe I can still figure it out. Maybe? That doesn't make any sense. Look at this. Like, what the fuck does that even mean? Like, how are we seeing both angles? That makes zero sense. So I tried. Oh my god, that was difficult. Holy shit, that hurt my fucking brain. Right? And there you go. Oh no, never mind. I had it right the first time. It is supposed to be invisible. Right? And we can do something like this, I'd like to think. Let's see. Okay, so this is my box. I'm trying to see the box again. And let's see, what else can we do? Well, I could do something like this. I could definitely try something like this. Let's do something like... There you go. Right, that's this. It's centered roughly. I'm still trying to see the box. I'm really still trying to see the box, by the way. Like, genuinely, I'm still trying to fucking see the box. Right, because this is roughly... This is the center. It goes past. Let's see. And what can we do? Wait, what can I do? What can I actually do? I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I literally don't know what I'm doing. This is very difficult. Again, I'm trying to like make these shapes all unorthodox and shit, but it's just fucking me up the ass. So this is where I need to lean in. This is really where I need to lean in and try to see it and make sense of it, right? This is where I need to try and fail. So I did something like this. I don't know if that really means anything. I thought I was gonna do something more impressive than this, but let's see if that's coming all the way here. That should be coming back all the way down there. Maybe we just ignore that? Yeah, maybe we just ignore that and try to do something like this instead. We'll just pretend like we didn't do that line, and we'll just... Again, what is the bottom? What is the bottom? What is the bottom? Let's see, and then this will be over here. Right, something like this. Wait. This, okay, so, okay, what am I trying to see? I'm trying to talk, see, this is now where, you know, I can't even explain what I'm doing because my brain is actually fried. So, I'm trying to see the front plane of this box. I'm trying to see the bottom plane. This is the calculation I'm doing from the bottom plane, like something like this, right? As you can see, I actually did it pretty accurately, but that's what I'm trying to see. And then I was supposed to center it, but I didn't center it accurately, as you can see. And it is going to be off center. And while I do that, I was trying to see the, yeah, I was trying to see something, but clearly it didn't work out. Now we can... There you go. I'm just trying to, I guess, make a interesting little nod. Because this is jutting out, right? I'm going to say this is jutting out. What can we do here? I still struggle with the other side quite a bit. And then how is this coming around? This sphere. How is that actually happening? What the fuck? I did not mean to do that. And then... Nope. See, that's wrong. Okay, so I couldn't get anything down. That was actually... That probably just made the design 10 times worse. I put a lot of effort in. I genuinely put a lot of effort in, but... Sorry. I genuinely put a lot of effort in, and I failed. And that's a good thing. Okay? Like, again, like, I don't expect any of these videos to get any, attention isn't the right word. Interest, perhaps interest, understanding, right? But I tried so much. I really tried so much. So I simply have to believe, and I simply have to encourage you that that's all that matters. But when I am great, right, you will look back, and I will look back at these videos and be like, look, wow, he was really fucking ass, bro. He was god tier, fucking trash tier, god tier, trash tier, what the fuck? He was goddamn trash tier, that's what I was trying to say. But let's again reiterate, what was Viggy trying to see? What were the calculations he was running in his mind? Well, he was trying to do something like this. Right? Just trying to see, like, and again, I don't even have like the right angle or everything, but he was trying to do something like this. Right? And then he was trying to get that perfect sphere in here, which he relatively got. You can see that curve was a bit inaccurate. He was trying to get that perfect sphere, and he was trying to see this. Right? He was trying to see this line, this cross-axis, this cross-axis, this cross-axis, as well as this cross-axis, this center line, which he completely fucking missed, this center line, right? And then this center line, and this center line, and this center line. And then this ellipse, right, which is the horizontal center, and this ellipse, which is the vertical center, right? And this ellipse, which is, I don't know what the fuck this is, like z-axis or some shit. I don't fucking know, bro. You think I know perspective, right? And then he was trying to see all of this as much as possible. And the main difficulty right now is maintaining the size and placement. So I want to say, like, I want to be very explicit. What I struggle with most with everything I say is, like, when I say I'm struggling this, struggling that, like, it's all predicated on trying to maintain the proportion, the size, the placement, like those two things, the proportion and the placement. Right? Yeah, and the size, like, all the same shit, Jesus. Right? I'm trying to see and maintain all of that while designing shapes. And you can see now, like, this was not accurate at all. It should have been more like this. Right? And we can see this was actually, it was okay. but it could have been a lot more subtle. There was no need for that much of a curve, right? This was just a complete fuck up on my end. You know, this was pretty good. I maintained this pretty consistently, right? And I saw this pretty well. Like I've been getting a lot better at seeing that pretty well. But designing on top of it, but again, like what completely threw a wrench in all of this? It was this diagonal. And again, I tried doing something, and I didn't understand what I was doing at all, because like if this is wrapping around here, then what the fuck am I doing? Like what is actually going on? What is this diagonal? I still need to try to figure it out. Like what's actually happening with the shape that I drew, because it should make sense from a perspective standpoint. Honestly, it does make sense if you think about it. I just didn't understand that because I was wrapping it around this way, that even if this was following the bottom plane, the bottom perspective, actually, I don't know. See, that's the struggle, right? I don't know what this plane should have been. Maybe somebody in the fucking comments will be like, "You're a dumbass. How could you not see that? Are you a fucking idiot, bro? How could you not calculate that while you were calculating these 23 calculations? You're a fucking moron, bro. While you were trying to explain it as well and trying to design on top of it, you're a fucking idiot. How'd you not see that?" To you, I say, yes, I'm not good enough. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I will kill myself immediately, as per your request. But only after, what's the year right now? 2026. I pretended to check my notifications calendar, but it doesn't even say the year. It just says the fucking date, Tuesday, March 31st. It's 2026, which I know because I know the fucking year. But yeah, I think I'll kill myself after like, what is like 2090, right? 2095. Yeah, that should be good. You know, I think that's not bad, right? I think by old age I should die with intent. Just technically killing myself because I intended on dying of old age. Right? But okay, let's actually figure this out because we can still grind our brains to try to figure this out, right? So yes, I got this diagonal wrong. Let's just, and the arbitrary measure I put for myself was like this, right? So this, I was just like, let's just say this is where I was calculating that diagonal to for both sides, right? So I got the other side wrong too. You know, I got this side right, but then I calculated the other side wrong because obviously I didn't visualize this properly, like this stopping point for the other side properly, right? But that's okay. And by the way, like if this looks fucky, it is. Now imagine doing that in your mind and trying to hold it and then trying to reconstruct it over and over and over, right? But hey, the fact that I'm able to do it more consistently is a testament to the fact that improvement, right? Cognitive load, theory, right? Working memory, parietal lobe, prefrontal cortex, right? Anterior cingulate cortex, I think. AC, what is it called? ANCC? Anterior neural cingulate cortex. I don't fucking know, but whatever, the willpower part of the brain. I don't even know if that's what I'm referring to even is, but either way. Okay, so I had this wraparound, right? It was at the edge. Yeah, see, well, I actually envisioned this to be the edge of my plane, actually, but clearly that meant that I was making this a lot larger. So this is actually what I initially envisioned, and then I had to fix it. So that was a mistake, right? But if this is at the edge of my plane, then this should have actually been around here somewhere, and maybe something like this, right? But then what is the perspective? The perspective is clearly this, is it not? Is it not this? Is that not what's happening? No, it's not, because it's following its own perspective. That's the issue that I fucked up. So if that's following its own perspective, this is correct. But then what is happening here? Because I made this wrap around here, right? We made a wrap around there. Does that mean it's... Yeah, that means it's essentially... It is tapering outwards. Yeah, it is tapering outwards. So that's on me. I made it jut out, but I didn't respond with this appropriately. There's a lot of things to figure out here. But at least I know that I don't think I was wrong in that aspect. Yeah, there's a lot of fuckery going on, as you can see. This is literally what I'm trying to see in my mind. So when I said I was struggling here, now you know why, because I was fucking basing it off of all of these, right? But with that being said, I did even less today, technically, if you would look at my output. But my input, again, very high. What is input? The effort I was putting in, the things I was putting the effort towards. Visualizing the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines inside the sphere inside the box, the cross-axis center lines inside each plane, the ellipses inside each plane, right? Maintaining the proportion, the size, and the placement. I think proportion size, technically. No, they're different. Proportion size, yeah. And placement of the entire box and the sphere and like and all the calculations, right? Yeah, that's the input. And your version of that input, now I can actually refer to my fucking handy dandy notebook, right? Let me look through my damn notes, Right? Let me just read out loud. Talk about how you keep forgetting the silhouette, which affects the design, cognitive load. Okay, I talked about that. Talk about how after 60 to 90 minutes, the brain's ability to process new data declines significantly, aligns with our ultradian rhythms. Yes, our brain operates on ultradian rhythms, which is roughly 90-minute cycles, right? REM sleep, 90-minute cycles, focus bouts, 90-minute cycles, learning bouts, 90-minute cycles, right? Jack off sessions, 90-minute cycles. It's all the same shit, bro. Okay, it's science. Let's see. Talk about how what I'm calculating requires the same level of effort as anything less intense previously. The constant effort to figure it out does not change. Your brain simply gets more efficient at building the schema, performing the calculations, and maintaining the thinking required, right? When you move on to the next step. And this applies to everything. So when I say everything, I mean it applies to you who's just drawing lines and planes, right? It applies to you who's maybe doing planes and boxes and horizon lines. It applies to you who's doing planes, boxes, and horizon lines and 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective. It's you who, and then as you can see, just more and more and more and more and more. But it applies to every single spot. So wherever you are, literally just push the extent of what you're doing there. If it's lines, again, really try to make those lines fucking clean. Different types of lines, thinking about the visualization of one point of the line to another point of the line, visualizing the line, applying while visualizing the line, right? Immediately your brain has like 7 things to think about and 12 different behaviors, which are skills, right? 12 different sub skills, meta skills, skills within skills to constantly focus on, right? Including just the grip that you use, your proprioception, the space you occupy within, like this, being aware of the space that you reside in, right? The space that you occupy, like all these things. So yeah, it's extremely difficult and it's wonderful. And not but, it's extremely difficult and it's worth it and it's fun and you fucking did well because you tried, right? This everybody give yourself a pat on the back, just like that, right? So I mean, this was great. This was a great session. And this was a session I didn't even want to fucking draw, okay? So, and again, like this will be a session on the outside to the onlooker to be like, what the fuck is this garbage? Like, literally, what is this? This guy drew fucking jackal, right? Right? Not a jackal, but jackal. Good joke, good joke. But to me, I know that I fucking put in a lot of effort towards the visualization, and that's what I'm building right now. Again, it's like overnight success, quote unquote, right? It's like, oh, he's drawing nothing, and so what the fuck? How's he just able to draw these intense forms on top of a sphere, right? Wait, how is this applying to portraits? Oh shit, he's actually just visualizing all of this while he's drawing first the nose, then the eyes, then the fucking and blah blah blah, and then literally a year and a half, 2 years down the line, you're like, okay, this guy's just immensely excellent at portraiture. And then I move on, and then I do figures. All right, I'm probably gonna finish the beginner roadmap, and then I do figures. Whatever. The point is, everything is planned, and it's all based on constant effort, right? So it's a win-win either way. I tried, I failed, I tried, I failed, and then that happened 100 times. Oh shit, I was supposed to talk about all the errors that I constantly experience while I'm drawing. I'll do that tomorrow. Yeah. Anyways, I hope you put a lot of effort in. And as always, fuck you for watching, keep drawing, and please, give me money.